provided by the San Diego Water District, which is a part of the city's utility department. Sustainability is a constant.
Let's get this party started. Welcome, everyone, to the April 6, 2023 regular meeting of the Encinitas Planning Commission. It is just, I will say, 6:01 by my watch. If you could remember to put your phones on vibrate, we'd appreciate it. I'm doing the same right now. I say, usually we call for a roll call here. I see all 5 planning commissioners are present, and do you know, so note that. We like to start each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you join me, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, I had a tongue slip there. Do we have any announcements this evening? We do not. We start each meeting with oral communications. I'll explain this all. Do we have any oral communications this evening?
We do not. We have no oral communications.
For future reference, we reserve oral communications for any items that are not on tonight's agenda, and we'll grant the public 3 minutes to talk about whatever they need to, and it's all on the record. So any changes to the agenda today? We have a very short agenda today. We have, we'll start, let me see, I'll go back to the little script here. We're going to consider the items on the consent calendar. These items are considered non-controversial or routine in nature. All consent calendar items are typically voted on collectively in a single motion without any staff presentation, public comment, or commission deliberation. However, if anyone, member of the public or a commissioner wishes to a consent calendar item to be heard, this item will be removed from the consent calendar and given an individual hearing. To pull a consent item, a member of the public should submit a pink speaker slip, which are found over here on the side of the building. And we have 5 items on our consent calendar this evening. First up is the Vulcan Towers renovation, item 6A. And this is a property at 609 South Vulcan, and it's we're considering a major use permit modification, design review permit, and coastal development permit for the remodel of an existing commercial office building. The next 4 items are approval of minutes of the meetings from January 19th, February 2nd, March 2nd, and March 16th. I've reviewed the meeting minutes, and if anyone, is there anyone who would like to pull an item? Any discussion? No? I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
So I think Commissioner Prendergast beat you to it. So if we can vote now. Looks like the vote is unanimous, 5-0, and we'll move on with our agenda. Next up is the irregular agenda, and we have nothing on our regular agenda this evening. Is that true? No action items whatsoever. Do we have any future agenda items added by planning commissioners? Seeing none? Let me see, do we have any planning commission reports? Anyone want to report anything that's happened? Go ahead.
Yes, so last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, actually with Bob and Anna, we were at the, just want to make sure I get the name of it correct, the Planning Commissioners Academy up in Garden Grove, and it was a really good opportunity. I feel like I learned quite a bit. I really felt like a lot of what we learned really supported what we do here, and I felt it validated a lot of the processes that we use and provided some good additional information, some good information about some upcoming laws that we may have to look forward to depending what happens at the state level. So it was very nice.
Cool. I'm envious. I've been to that now a couple of times, and it's just fun being around other people who are dealing with the same stuff we're dealing with.
Yes, there were folks from all across the state. Certainly the rural cities have different issues than we have in some of the more urban cities, Daly City, housing issues, housing density bonus laws was a big part of the topic. I think that was just an issue across the board for most cities, and even the rural cities too. They had their own set of plans, but they also have issues with how to handle the vast number of laws that are being passed at the state level.
Wow. Well, thank you both for attending. I'm really glad you went. It was totally one of my favorite things.
Oh, and I'd like to also thank Anna for kind of shepherding us through so the questions that were asked and being available to us, taking time from her schedule, would probably put her behind approving some of her other projects. But it was just nice the speakers would say something, and then I would take notes, Chris too, and then we would ask her later, okay, so can you explain what they meant here? And the nuances of what was going on was very helpful, and just the quick answers was very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Anna. Do we have any secretary reports next up?
I don't really have any reports other than I enjoyed the Planning Commission Academy as well, and it's good for me to also see how other cities operate with their planning commission, and it's always great to have the legislative updates and then the refreshers on coordination with staff and council and planning commission, and they spoke about SB 330. It was really focused on housing laws, which we all know are very popular right now.
Oh, yeah.
Or I shouldn't say popular, very much used right now. But that's all I have for reports.
That's great. Yeah, I loved just seeing how other planning commissions work. I mean, we met one group when I was there last, and they would come into the meeting totally cold, not knowing anything. They'd get a binder, and they'd start flipping through it and make decisions based on what was in the binder. And it was, smaller city, probably smaller binder too, but still, it was, we're pretty high-tech here, more so than I realize at times.
Yeah, so they went around
I
and.
do have a small update that I did the harassment training.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I actually had completed it in June of 2022, but they asked me to do it again. I guess they were trying to sort of sync up with all of the people taking it. So I did it because they asked. But I also have a question. I just wondered, our work plan, these meetings that are a bit shorter would be a good time for some of those items that are on our work plan. And I'm just wondering when those will be coming up to our attention and how we will be working on those items that are on the work plan. How is that process?
That's a really good point. It could be a good thing to actually have our work plan. I know some of the commissions have at the end of each meeting or at the beginning of each meeting, the work plan is looked at as one of the agenda items. And I would love to have that because I've lost track.
Yes, no, it's coming.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always got plans for us.
We're getting close to that. We were making sure that City Council had all of their budget meetings and discussions before I brought it forward to the Planning Commission.
Great.
But we're getting close.
Okay, we're looking forward to that because we're getting bored. These meetings are supposed to be exciting. We promised Bob like thousands of pages of reading, and
Calm
we have
before
not
the
delivered.
storm.
So, given that, we are at the end of the meeting. I'm going to adjourn this meeting to the next regular meeting of April 20th. And that was that. Went a little long today, sorry.
I can resend you the schedule for the year. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure.
our long